Well, well, well. Just when you thought Marvel couldn't sink any lower, here comes Ironheart, a series that's been sitting in developmental purgatory longer than Morbius memes have been funny. This is Marvel's last-ditch attempt to salvage whatever's left of Phase 5 by slapping together another brilliant young woman of color who builds a flying suit out of junkyard parts and outsmarts Tony Stark from beyond the grave. And, oh yeah, the MCU is back, baby. And by back, I mean still tumbling down the staircase of irrelevance with Ironheart as the awkward final stumble. So, Marvel's Ironheart. It hits Disney Plus this June, supposedly. Assuming they don't quietly memory hole it like Batgirl. And yet, here we are just weeks out and there's still no full trailer. No hype, no buzz, no real footage, just a recycled half-hearted teaser buried in a look-ahead montage. Because when Marvel knows it's got another disaster on its hands, they go into full stealth mode. You know, quietly rolling it out and praying no one notices. So, let's back the truck up and rewind here. Ironheart was shot years ago. Seriously. Most of the cast probably forgot they were even in it. Dominic Thorne plays Riri Williams, the genius teenage girl who reverse engineered Tony Stark's Iron Man tech out of scrap metal in a garage with no money. Yeah, sure, that's more impressive than what Tony Stark did, according to Marvel's new damage control PR blitz. Because nothing says grounded, relatable hero like a character that just magically replaces Iron Man with zero build-up and zero audience demand. And since nobody cares about Riri, what's Marvel's marketing strategy? Robert Downey Jr. That's right. The man, the myth, the legend. You know, the guy who they killed off years ago? Yeah, he's now being rolled out in puff pieces and headlines to convince people this new character somehow matters. Riri got 2 thumbs up from RDJ during a brief backstage meetup, and suddenly it's a spiritual passing of the torch. Except, it's not. There's no connection, no shared screen time, no actual legacy. It's like trying to pass off the janitor's mop as Mjolnir. But Marvel wants you to believe Riri is more remarkable than Tony Stark because she did it all without money, just grit, brilliance, and a screenwriter with a checklist. Let's not forget, Ironheart in the comics was a dud, rejected by fans, and what's Marvel's solution? Yeah, let's reboot her for TV because clearly what didn't work out in print will work even worse on screen. Remember her random cameo on Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Of course you don't. She was just there, wedged in for DEI points, delivering lines like a background NPC in a cutscene. Now, she's the lead in her own show. Not because fans demanded it, not because the story demanded it, but because Kevin Feige demanded it as a checkbox to be checked before Phase 5 ends. And that's the real kicker. Ironheart is closing out Phase 5. That's right. The final note of Marvel's most disastrous stretch yet is a show they didn't even want to release. This is the same studio that just tried rebranding the Thunderbolts as a new Avengers movie to cover up its tanking box office. So you really think Ironheart is going to be their redemption arc? Spoiler alert, it's not. In fact, everything points to Marvel knowing this show is going to be a flop. From the lack of a trailer, to the desperate use of RDJ, name drops, to burying it among other Disney Plus promos. They're trying to sneak this one out the back door with minimal backlash. So, what have we learned? Ironheart is a legacy character with no legacy. A successor with no story. A show with no demand. Being promoted with the ghost of a character audiences actually liked. They're not even trying to sell you on Riri. They're trying to sell you on Tony's shadow. And that, my friends, is where Marvel is right now, banking on nostalgia while shoving hollow replacements into suits of armor and calling it progress. Will Ironheart save the MCU? No. Will it even be watchable? Doubtful. But hey, it's coming in June whether you like it or not. Because when all else fails, just blame the audience, call it brilliant, and roll credits on another Phase 5 disaster. So, what do you think? Is Ironheart going to be the next big flop or just another Marvel speed bump on the road to total creative bankruptcy? Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell for more painful reality checks from me, the Critical Nerd. And remember, Tony Stark built a legacy. Riri built a junk pile. See you next time.